and I am the Regional Director for the Northeast Region of the Child Protection and the Family Services Agency. I will be navigating you through this morning's event, but before we get any further, please help me to invite Pastor Courtney Orr to say prayers.
Thank you. Invite you, if you can, just stand with me and we assume an attitude of prayer. Let us pray. My Maker and my King, to thee my all I own. Thy sovereign bounty is the spring whence all my blessings flow. Indeed, as we look and as we listen, we can say all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things are wise and wonderful. The Lord God made them all. Mighty God and our Father, we thank you for just who you are. Thank you for allowing us to be alive one more day. This Friday, the 3rd day of November 2023, a day which we have never seen before. It's nothing on our side while we are alive. It's your grace, it's your mercy that is keeping us. Pray, O Lord, for everyone that is present here, those who are listening right now and those who will be listening, those who are viewing and those who will be viewing. Pray for each presenter and those who are here to just give their support. Pray, O Lord, that you will just lead in a marked way as we go through this room opening, this central room of the Muirton Boys' Home. I pray that the resources that would have been put in will be benefited not only for this area, but the ripple effect will be felt in Jamaica and the world at large. We ask of you to ease the weather so we'll have a wonderful time here. And at the end, pray that your name will be glorified. People will be drawn closer to you as never before. Finally, when you come, save us in your kingdom. This I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. You may be seated.
Thank you, Pastor Orr. Thank you. Honorable Marsha Smith, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education and Youth. Mrs. Laurette Adams Thomas, Chief Executive Officer of the Child Protection and the Family Services Agency. Ms. Maria Thompson Walters, Executive Director of the Transformation Implementation Unit. Mrs. Shanae Walsh-Weber, Manager of the Muirton Boys' Home. Dr. Pauline Watson, Executive Director of the Macam Child Care and Development Center. Mrs. Jolene Campbell Donaldson, Center Manager for the Macam Child Care and Development Center. Executive members of the CPFSA team, members of the broadcasting team, other specially invited guests, and last but by no means least, our beautiful children who have joined us this morning. Good morning, all. Today, we are seeing firsthand not only the growth, but the diversity in the suite of therapeutic interventions available for our children in Jamaica. Today, we are sharing in the promise that no child will be left behind. And we are underscoring that every child is precious and meeting their unique needs remains high on the agenda at the CPFSA. But this agenda, might I tell you, can only be successfully realized through strategic partnership and collaboration and unswerving commitment. Just what we have happening here today. For the more official welcome, I'm going to invite, and please help me to invite, the manager of this beautiful property, Mrs. Shanae Walsh-Weber. I'm sorry, Miss Walsh. Mrs. Shanae Walsh-Weber. Tongue ties. I'm so sorry. She's not going to forgive me. Let me just tell you.
Madam Chairperson, Mrs. Carlin Stewart, the Honorable Marcia Smith, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education and Youth, Mrs. Loretta Adams Thomas, Chief Executive Officer of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, Miss Marcia Thompson Walters, Executive Director of the Transformation Implementation Unit, members of the Executive Management Team, members of the Broadcasting Team, TIU project members, guests, boys and girls, staff, good morning. It's my privilege and great pleasure to welcome you to the official opening of our sensory room here at Muirton Child Care Facility. This is a momentous occasion that not only marks the opening of a much-needed space, but the unfolding of new possibilities and joint commitment to the inclusive care of our wards with special needs. We are celebrating a significant milestone in our collective journey towards understanding, accepting, and nurturing unique ways each child experiences the world around them. Muirton Child Care Facility presently houses 20 wards from different regions who share similar disabilities, namely Down syndrome, autism spectrum disorder, and intellectual challenges. Since our reopening in February 2018 for wards with special needs, more specifically with wards with intellectual challenges, this facility has had many success stories. Through our various skill training programs in construction, culinary skills, craft, upholstering, tiling, sewing, and plumbing, some of our wards have mastered or near mastered a skill to aid in their personal development and preparation for transition. Our wards have also participated in the Art NSTA Empowerment Program for Special Needs and received permanent employment at the end of their 6-month tenure. Now we open the doors to our sensory room. It shows that we can create environments that are not just accommodating for our wards, but which can enrich their lives. This space is equipped with tools and equipment specifically chosen to provide therapeutic benefits, to stimulate learning, and to offer comfort and calm to those who may experience the world more intensely. I am truly delighted to represent the Muirton team on this historic occasion. As with this new addition to our facility, we can offer greater support and boost the service and care we offer to the children. We know we can further help to improve our wards' cognitive ability, behavior, and emotional well-being. The sensory room will also allow staff members to expand their skill set, improve their knowledge and grow in our creativity to serve the children with autism. As we intend to bolster our operations to extent that this facility may be a training ground for others. The team and I are excited to expand our prior knowledge on how to help the wards through the use of technology and training to develop their minds to function outside of care. Once again, welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Weber. I just want to publicly say how good a job Mrs. Weber and her team are doing here at Muirton for our boys. We appreciate you, Mrs. Weber. Just want to acknowledge some other members of the CPFSA team who came in. I am seeing Regional Director from Southern Region, Mrs. Francine Rooms, Ms. Carmen Mullins, Regional Director from the Southeast Region. Welcome. I see our HR Manager. Welcome, Ms. Lawrence. And I see our Clinical Psychologist Lead, Mrs. Sharina Forbes, and also Ms. Melody Samuels. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So now I am going to invite to the podium Mrs. Laurette Adams Thomas. She is our CEO at the CPFSA, and we invite her to bring greetings at this time.
Honorable Minister Marcia Smith, Member of Parliament, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education and Youth. Mrs. Marie Thompson Walters, my apologies, Executive Director of the Transformation Implementation Unit. Mr. Richard Panton, Program Manager of the Transformation Implementation Unit. Mrs. Julene Campbell Donaldson. She is from the Macomb Child Care Development Center. She's the center manager. Dr. Pauline Watson, Executive Director of the Macomb Child Care Development Center. Mrs. Shanae Walsh-Weber, Manager of the Muirton Boys Home. Ms. Carolyn Stewart, Regional Director of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency for the Northeast Region. Members of the Child Protection Services, other members of the Transformation Implementation Team, members of the audience, boys and girls, a pleasant good morning to you all. It is my pleasure to stand before you today on behalf of the CPFSA family as we gather to commemorate this official opening, the opening of our sensory room here at the Muirton Boys Home. We're here to celebrate a significant step forward in the CPFSA's mission to provide the utmost care and protection for Jamaica's most vulnerable children. As you all know, the CPFSA is dedicated to the welfare of Jamaica's children, and today's gathering marks a remarkable milestone in our journey to offer specialized care for children with intellectual and developmental disabilities, as well as those with behavioral issues. The introduction of sensory rooms within our residential childcare facilities is a testament to our unwavering commitment to improving the lives of these children and ensuring they receive the attention and support that they truly deserve. Sensory rooms are invaluable spaces that provide a safe haven for children who may find the world overwhelming due to their unique challenges. These spaces are designed to engage their senses and emotions, fostering a sense of comfort, calm, and self-regulation. They are instrumental in helping children build essential life skills, self-awareness, and self-esteem. The transformational impact of these rooms on the children cannot be overstated, and it's wonderful to see the positive changes that they will actually bring. Today we are celebrating the inauguration of the sensory room at the Muirton Boys Home, the second of its kind to be established under our care. This is an extraordinary achievement made possible through the collaborative efforts of many individuals and organizations. We would like to use this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to the Transformation Implementation Unit for their unwavering support and dedication. Their assistance has been instrumental in the successful establishment of these sensory spaces, and we truly appreciate their partnership in this endeavor. Furthermore, I am delighted to announce that the Muirton Boys Home is not alone in this journey. In addition to this facility, we are in the process of implementing 4 more sensory spaces in our residential childcare facilities across the island. These include the Blossom Gardens Nursery and Robbing Nest Children's Home, both located in St. James, Glen Hope Nursery in Kingston, and Gift of Hope Children's Home in Manchester. This expansion will enable us to reach even more children who are in need of specialized care, ensuring that they have access to transformative sensory rooms. The spaces of rooms will serve children in facilities where they are currently located. As the service is delivered to them, we will determine if it is to be expanded to children at other facilities. Currently, children at other facilities, however, are able to access the services at the Therapeutic Center in Kingston. The rooms will be used for a mix of early stimulation and for delivery of occupational therapy for children with behavioral disorders or developmental disabilities, including children with intellectual disabilities. The importance of these spaces cannot be overstated. They provide children with a sanctuary where they can explore and express themselves, free from judgment and external pressures. These rooms are essential in helping children develop critical coping skills and improving their overall well-being. They also serve as a valuable resource for our dedicated staff who can better understand the unique needs of each child under their care. As we look ahead, let us remember the incredible difference these sensory spaces will make in the lives of the children we serve. Today's event is a celebration of compassion, teamwork, and resilience of these remarkable children. We look forward to witnessing the positive impact of the sensory room at Muirton Boys Home and the upcoming spaces across the island. Once again, on behalf of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the Transformation Implementation Unit, our dedicated staff, and all our supporters and partners who have made this possible. Your efforts have truly made a difference in the lives of Jamaica's vulnerable children, and for that we are immensely thankful. In conclusion, let us continue to work together to provide the love, care, and support that these children so rightly deserve. Together, we can create a brighter future for them, full of hope, joy, and endless possibilities. Thank you, and do enjoy the rest of this special day.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you so much. CEO said a whole lot, but I just want to repeat a line that she said. A space free from judgment and external pressure. Don't sometimes we feel like we need that space? Yes, awesome stuff. Thank you, CEO. May I just have 2 minutes to acknowledge Dr. Warren Thompson, who has joined us. He is the Director of Programs and Family Services at the CPFSA. Also, the Head of Investigations, I see her in our audience, Mrs. Erica Hope Gilbert. Hope. And I just wanted to CEO spoke a lot about teamwork. And the TIU is an awesome team to work with. And because I have chairperson's privileges, I just want to just acknowledge all of them. Mr. Richard Panton is sitting over there, right? He is the program manager. Miss Tamika Gunmighty is somewhere at the back, yes, communication specialist. Miss Anike Clark is up front here, and she is the communications lead. Now, Mr. Simeon Lyons is not with us physically, but knowing Simeon, I'm sure he's hearing what's happening. He is the project manager, and all of them together have done an awesome, awesome job working on this project. And I concur with CEO that we are most grateful. So now it's time for our children to be on show. And we have with us today the Manchonil All-Age School, who have taken time out of their busy schedule at school. You know that the schedules at school can be very busy. And we want to welcome them to stage, and they are going to be doing a cultural presentation for us. Welcome, Manchonil All-Age.
Go stop on the stage. Check. Good morning, everybody. So we are happy to be here to share with you some of our Jamaican culture. But I'd also like to share a little story. This morning, I was wondering if we were able to do this item because of the weather. We have not been having good attendance. So this morning, most of them did not turn up, and I had to call around. Some of them are still not here, some are ill. But I'm happy for these children who rose to the occasion and say, sir, we're going to do it. Let us create something. And they are here. When we finished creating what we had this morning and went to put on the costumes, we realized that there was a ill dog lying in the basin with the costumes. And so they're not so happy in the costume that they have. We have to change, but I know they are going to just do their best. So let's go with them. What we're going to share with you is an item called Dinky Mini and Gere, which are two of our traditional folk forms brought to us by our African ancestors, which we still embrace today. So let's get it on. Sorry. Rosie Bello, Bello, Bello. Hey, Rosie Bello, 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 Rosie Bello, hey, Rosie Bello, oh, Bello, Bello, Rosie Bello, Bello, Rosie Bello, 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 Rosie Bello, hey, Rosie Bell, follow me some gan, Rosie Bell, oh, Bello, Rosie Bell, kaka crow, you know here, Rosie Bell, oh, hey, Rosie Bell, rokonko tong tong splash. Rosie Bell, oh, Bell, hey, Rosie Bell, rokonko tong tong splash. Rosie Bell, oh, Bell, hey, Rosie Bell, oh, Bell, oh, Bell, oh, Rosie Bell, oh, Bell, oh, Rosie Bell, oh, Bell, oh, Bell, oh, Rosie Bell, oh, Bell, hey, Rosie Bell, follow me some gan. Hey, Rosie Bell, follow me some gan. Rosie Bell, oh, Bell, hey, Rosie Bell, rokonko tong tong dash. Hey, Rosie Bell, rokonko tong tong splash. Rosie Bell, oh, Bell. Hey, Rosie Bell, oh, Bell, oh, Bell, oh. Rosie Bell, oh, Bell, oh. Zayambe, yo boy, Zayambe. I say Zayambe, yo boy. I say so gang Zayambe. I say so go gang Zayambe. Zayambe. I say so gunga zang Zayambe. I say so gang Zayambe. I say so gang Zayambe. I say so Zayambe, yo boy. I say Zayambe, yo boy. You put your foot in there. You put your foot in there. You put your head in there. Put your head in there. Hold the girl in there. Hold the girl in there. I say Sayambe who boy. I say Sayambe who boy. I say Sayambe who boy. Come Zayambe who boy. I'm say Zayambe yo boy. I'm say Zayambe yo boy. I'm say Zayambe yo boy. I'm say so ganga sang. I'm say so kusaga sang sang. Ah, you put your belly in there. Put your belly in there. Put your hand in there. Put your hand in there. I'm say Zayambe who boy. I'm say Zayambe who boy. Zayambe. I'm say Zayambe who boy. 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 I'm say Zayambe yo boy. Zayambe yo boy. I'm say Zayambe who boy. I'm say Zayambe who boy. I'm say Zayambe who boy. I'm say Zayambe who. You know you walk on a bamboo walk. You know you walk on a bamboo walk. Yeah, you walk on a bamboo walk. You walk on a bamboo walk. Yeah, you walk on a bamboo walk. You walk on a bamboo walk. Young girl that dance bamboo tick. You know you walk on a bamboo walk. Young girl that dance bamboo tick. You know you walk on a bamboo walk. She walk on a walk on the bamboo hole. You walk on a bamboo walk. She walk on a walk on the bamboo hole. Yeah, you walk on a bamboo walk. She walk man a close on the bamboo hole. You walk on a bamboo walk. She walk man a close on the bamboo hole. Yeah, you walk on a bamboo. Come lift up the foot on the you walk on a bamboo walk. Come lift up the foot on the bamboo hole. You know you walk on a bamboo walk. And she dance on the bamboo tick. Hey, 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 hey. And she dance on the bamboo tick. Yeah, you walk on a. Come on, couple little girl on the bamboo, man. You walk on a bamboo walk. Take your girl off on the bamboo now. Yeah, you walk on a bamboo walk. Yeah, you walk on a bamboo walk. You walk on a bamboo walk. You walk on a bamboo walk. Yeah, you walk on a bamboo walk. Me lick about me wilo. Hey, me lick about me wilo. Hey, me wilo. Hey, me wilo. But me know my ABC. And me know my 1, 2, 3. Brook bap bap. 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 Then you seize up. Seize up. Seize up. I make keep on. 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 Bun. Tell the gumbo ya go bun down there. Oh, tell the gumbo ya go bun down there. Come on, boy. Go bun down. I make keep on. I make keep on. I make keep on down. Aye. I make keep on. I make keep on. I make keep on down. Aye. Tell the gumbo ya go bun down. Hey, tell the gumbo ya go bun down there. Go on. Tell the gumbo ya go bun down there. Tell the gumbo ya go bun down. Hey, tell the gumbo ya go bun down. Tell the gumbo ya go bun. Why? I make it bun down. Aye. Tell the gumbo ya go bun down. I make it bun down. Aye. Tell the gumbo ya go bun down. I make it bun down. Aye. Tell the gumbo ya go bun down. Tell the gumbo ya go bun down there.
Tell the grandma ya go bun down.
Hey, tell the gumbo ya go bun down there. Make it bun down. Aye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mansionil All Age School. Bamboo Walk. We don't know what going down there, but they have asked us a couple of times. You know what going down there? Awesome presentation by the school. Children are very resilient. You heard that they had to change their costumes this morning? How many of us as adults would be off key because we had to change? Is your children just bounce forward? They just bounce forward, yes. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much. So let me tell you a little joke. So when I was sitting where I was sitting, I was seeing everybody's face. And there was this one particular person in the audience who was enjoying the presentation a whole lot. But you see the bamboo part, she got nervous. And when the little girl went up and she got nervous and I saw her taking some deep breaths. So I don't know if she wants to share with us, but she's next on the program. So heading the TIU unit, that awesome team that we've been talking about all morning, every awesome team needs an awesome leader, right? Yes. So Ms. Maria Thompson Walters, Executive Director of TIU, is going to come to stage and she's going to greet us. I don't know if she's going to share with us how nervous she was about the bamboo part, but I saw it. Welcome, Mrs. Walters.
Thank you, Caroline. Those children were absolutely amazing. And yes, I was like, oh my God, is she going to drop? Is she going to drop? I hope she don't drop. I hope she don't drop. Perfectly executed. Thank you very, very much. And for not giving me a heart attack this morning. You guys were fantastic. State Minister in the Ministry of Education and Youth, the Honorable Marcia Smith, MP, CEO of CPFSA, Mrs. Laurette Adams Thomas, Muirton Boys Home Manager, Shanae Walsh Weber, Pastor Orr, specially invited guests, other members of the CPFSA and the TIU, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning to you all, and yes, even in the rain, a pleasant good morning. I know those of you that are resident here in Portland are used to this, but the clean air this morning, breathing this clean air this morning, I have chronic sinusitis, and I must tell you, I have never been so clear in a long while. So thank you. Oh, I'm telling you, thank you, thank you. Today, and I hope you can see it in my face, the TIU is so proud to celebrate this momentous occasion, the opening of the sensory room here at the Muirton Boys Home. It is the culmination, as you've heard, of sustained efforts through a partnership of our two entities to implement programs and systems to help one of our society's most vulnerable groups, our children, and even within that group, children with special needs. And I want to let you in on a little secret. When we were developing the transformation program for government, we had a little pause because this phase of public sector transformation really focuses on how we can integrate technology into the work of the public sector to make our work more efficient and to make us more effective. And we said, CPFSA, technology, children, we're not too sure we're actually seeing that link there. Because in our minds, technology is the networks, the computers, the systems, the programs, and so. And along with CPFSA, we took a big leap. And I'm here to tell you, it works. The introduction of technology works. It requires that you transform your own mind and your own definition of technology. Because the technology that we've introduced here and that we've worked with CPFSA to put in place is not just the wires and the computers, although I'm going to talk about those. It's the different systems and programs and equipment that are required for the CPFSA to execute to the benefit of our children. We are especially pleased because our project touches not just the lives of children, but for Muirton here, our boys. And we know that our boys here in Jamaica need special attention. And these are our boys with special needs. And I want to share with you just some of the other areas that we have been supporting the CPFSA in its modernization thrust. We have provided the organization with 173 desktop computers, 56 laptops, and 35 tablets for use within the CPFSA's offices, resource centers, and in the field. And the tablets are important because they go along with the execution of the psychological tools. So you see the technology, it works. It absolutely works. We've provided the organization with 11 multifunctional printers for use in the CPFSA's offices. But the CPFSA's core business is children. And so we have supported by providing 92 tablets which were issued to secondary school level students who performed well in their CSEC exams and primary school students who performed well in their PEP exams. When COVID hit in 2020, we also had to pivot with this project. And the children's needs were no longer for tablets, but to support their online learning. And so we diverted our funds and we provided 500 laptops to children across the residential childcare facilities of the CPFSA. We also know that taking care of our children's mental health is critical to their development into well-functioning adults. And the human resources sometimes can't stretch the way we want them to stretch. And so CPFSA has this wonderful program. It's a mobile health, mental health unit. And we said, yes, we're on that too. So we provided them with a second mobile mental health unit to assist them in how they go around the country and deal with our children's mental health. The psychological tools that are so necessary in diagnosing and treating our children, we provided them with 100 psychological tools. Also important in the response time between the CPFSA and the National Children's Registry is the need to ensure that both organizations were fully integrated so that everybody has a line of sight as to what is going on. The Children's Registry is now fully integrated into the CPFSA's child case management system. And so that intake process, the team at CPFSA can see exactly where our children are and work seamlessly as one team. Of course, all of this requires a little bit of the cables and the wires and so. So we needed to ensure that CPFSA has a well-developed ICT network. And I'm not talking the network at the office, an island-wide network, and a call center, the capacity to respond 24 hours. One of the things that we also worked with CPFSA, and this one is really dear to my heart, is the development and pilot of a behavior modification program for the youth. Inefficiencies in our operations in the public sector, as well as reduce the high costs of transactions within the public sector and the long wait times and sometimes the duplication in functions that confuse our citizens. We want to significantly improve how we manage, develop, and compensate public sector employees. This project falls under our efficiency pillar. This 6-year project, which started in 2018, is being executed at a cost of approximately $1.6 million US, with funding from the Inter-American Development Bank. When I listened to the CEO of the Muirton Boys Home, the CEO of CPFSA, I am heartened because of the positive impact that this project is having on CPFSA's operations. Yes, CEO, you are the leader of this organization. You are the CEO of Muirton Boys Home. The ability for the registration officers of the National Children's Registry to enter reports directly into the case management system, ensuring synergies between the persons who deal with the case management system and the National Children's Registry is priceless, I believe, and saves not just efficiency, but time, precious time that we need to respond to our children. The investigations unit, I am sure, is happy for this. It provides the ability to communicate more efficiently across the CPFSA network because you no longer have to sit and wait for the system to load. The experience now is a much better one. These may sound like trivial things, but they are important. They are important milestones in how such a key entity of the CPFSA operates. You should never be hampered in any way in serving the children and families of Jamaica, but more importantly, in protecting Jamaica's future, because that is what you do. The sensory room here at Muirton Boys Home, that was a mouthful, was well needed. We have identified 4 other homes to provide sensory equipment to boost their capacity to cater to the needs of children. We have also outfitted the therapeutic center at the Maxfield Park Children's Home with sensory equipment along with 20 computers. This room and the equipment to be provided to the other homes will serve as a great complement to the mental health tools that the TIU has made available under this project. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, this is a proud moment for us. We hope that this room being opened today, as well as the equipment to be provided to the other homes, will go a long way in helping to identifying and addressing the needs of our children. We want to ensure that we support these children as they continue on their journey to becoming adults, able to make meaningful contributions to the development of their country. And before I close by saying thank you, I also want to recognize Mr. Simeon Lyons, the project manager, who is not here today. Simeon was relentless. He was insistent that this project must succeed. And I'm sure the people at CPFSA know because he was at them and at them and at them. And we really have to recognize Simeon today. So thank you. Thank you for the partnership. Thank you for the inspiration. And to the Ministry of Education, Minister Smith, thank you very much for allowing us to agreeing for us to do this project and for us to continue this work with the CPFSA. And we hope and look forward to further collaboration between the 3 organizations. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the Executive Director of the TIU, Miss Maria Thompson Walters, OD. Now, she said a lot as well, but the part that stuck with me, she referred to the boys at Muirton as what? As who? Our boys. That's what she said. Our boys. Yes, 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 yes. That speaks volumes. So today is an important day. And even though Muirton is nestled all the way east, and even though the road to get here is in some spots not as, encouraging as you'd want it to be to come again, it's important. And we took the time to come. And I'm going to be introducing to you our main speaker this morning, who thought it important as well, and who journeyed from far to come and be with us. And when she completes her address, you are going to be just as convinced as I am about her passion for children. And so, help me to introduce Honorable Marcia Smith, MP, Minister of State in the Ministry of Youth and Education and Youth. Please join me at the podium.
You know, even though today is not a very sunny day, I'm looking at the beautiful Caribbean Sea, and the waves are crashing against the rocks, such a beautiful place to be. And when the speakers came, they said some very special words that I made a note of. In particular, Miss Adams Thomas, she said, it's a special day. And Mrs. Thompson Walter, she said, it's a proud moment. And that's how I feel standing here. A special day and a proud day. And a day which may not be sexy, may not be exciting, but is very important. And it is important to our nation. And so we need to honor today. Chairperson, Ms. Caroline Stewart, you have been doing such a wonderful job guiding us through today's proceedings. The CEO of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, Mrs. Laurette Adams Thomas. The Executive Director of the TIU, Mrs. Maria Thompson Walters, OD. I'd like to add that as well. Mrs. Shanae Walsh-Weber, the manager of the Muirton Boys Home. Pastor Orr, thank you so much, sir, for that prayer, because you spoke not just to our present condition, but our future hope. Yes, thank you. Thank you. The specially invited guests and the members from the Child Protection and Family Services Agency ecosystem, the regional directors have come to support the Northeast region, and we thank you for doing so. And the team from the TIU, a team that I hold very dear to my heart, and they know why. You know, they are doing so much in terms of transforming how public services are actually done in the country. And oftentimes people don't see the heavy lifting that they do, and I just want to acknowledge the work being done by the TIU, led by Mrs. Maria Thompson Walters. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me tell you about that presentation that was done by Manchonil Primary School. It is so good to see the transmission of culture from one generation to the next. And though I will not attempt to go and dance on those bamboo sticks, I may not have shown my fear in the same way as Mrs. Thompson Walters, but I felt it at times as well, especially when her head hit the top. So children, you have no idea how your excellence encourages adults in the room. Continue to do well for your school and for yourselves. Clap yourselves. Today, I am honored to deliver the main address at the official opening of the sensory room here at the Muirton Boys Home, and please accept Minister Williams' apologies for not being here today. She's unavoidably absent, but she sends her best wishes and pledges her continued support for the work of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency as you continue to positively impact the lives of our children and families. One of the reasons why I'm so delighted to share in today's initiative, it is because this initiative is about partnership. When you speak about child protection, you can't leave out the word partnership. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to provide for a child. My parents weren't the only ones who supported me on my journey. They weren't the only ones who provided for my physical needs and my mental needs. It was a whole ecosystem of people and persons and provisions that were made for me to reach to this stage. So today we are celebrating partnership. And this is a partnership that has happened with the Ministry of Education and Youth, the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, the Transformation Implementation Unit of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, and you would have heard that there was donor support to ensure that there was financing for the project. It is an important milestone on our journey as we continue to address the special needs challenges and improve the well-being of our boys in state care, especially those between the ages of 11 and 18. This boys' home is a government-operated and purpose-built facility that caters to boys with special needs and is one of the specialized homes being operated by the CPFSA. And this allows for strategic placement of children who are brought into state care. The sensory room is more than just a physical space. And you would have heard the CEO speak to a place free from judgment. And you know how liberating that space is in children? Yes, it's you're talking to. Where you can just relax. In fact, I feel like just to be in this beautiful environment has taken us all to a space where our mental well-being is just being improved just by being here and looking at the beauty of nature. So this sensory room is a sanctuary that will provide therapeutic support, emotional comfort, and educational opportunities for the boys in our care. And the integration of technology into the space further enhances its ability to meet the unique needs of each child, thereby creating a nurturing environment that fosters positive growth and development. You know, when the CEO of the Muirton Boys Home spoke, she spoke with great pride about the achievements of the wards in going through the hard training program that were specially curated for their needs. And I'm sure that the technology that is being put into this sensory room will help them on that journey. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency plays a critical role in holding the society together. And a project like this will undoubtedly improve the capacity to fulfill your mandate. And you would have heard, you see, I'm also education, so I have to make sure that you're really listening to what is going on here. I hope that you are listening to the fact. I hope we all were. Okay. I hope we're all listening to the fact that this is the first of a series of sensory rooms. It's how many, she said? Children, were you listening? How many additional sensory rooms will there be? Ah, correct. A. You get an A, right? Yeah, she get an A. Oh, he got an A. All right. So, in a practical way, is it okay? I think it's better now. Oh, yes. I speak loudly, but not that loudly because I'm competing with the fan. Now, you will recall that the Child Protection and Family Services Agency came about in November 2017 following the merger of the Child Development Agency, CDA, which some people still call it, and the Office of the Children's Registry, OCR. And after that merger, the OCR became the National Children's Registry, or the NCR, within the CPFSA ecosystem. However, the ICT networks were still segregated. Additionally, a web-based child case management system was introduced at the CDA in 2017, and this is now being expanded to facilitate the work of the NCR. The nature of that system requires high-speed data connectivity, which is not readily available at all CPFSA locations. Also, there was also disparate telephone systems. This telephone system did not allow for extension calling between each person, neither was there connectivity with the parish office and other locations. Through this modernization project, those issues have been rectified. The agency now has high-speed data connectivity, and the telephone system has been upgraded to facilitate easier communication, and the full operational. You see, I have a list song, right? So let me just pause and put a simpler word here. The 24-hour call center is up and running. Right? And I hope the children heard that. You see, when you come to an obstacle, you just pull back and you just find a way around it. And you know, this is really in a practical way what that sensor room is going to be doing. Teach our children how to overcome the obstacles. And we are living in a digital world, and so they're going to have to learn to overcome those obstacles using technology. So technology must not be something that is unfamiliar with them. As mentioned by the executive director of the TIU, the agency has received computers, tablets, and equipment to enable your officers to work more efficiently and effectively. I can just imagine that you can now be out in the field and you have your tablets and you can gather that data and put it in your case management system. How much easier it is than put it in a notebook, coming home in the night after a day's work. I have a friend who is also a member of the CPFSA, and I used to see her in the evenings. She comes home from the field, and she has a big logbook, and she would have written down everything in that logbook, but that was just part of the work. She also then had to move, and when she went into the office, move that log work from those books into another log to create a report at the end of the month. So I know exactly what it is that you as officers of the CPFSA would have been facing without that technology, which now enables you to work more efficiently. So the expansion of the ICT infrastructure and the modernization project is definitely us seeking to work smarter and thereby improving the delivery of public services. And we know that the public services that we deliver in relation to children always are front and center. It is the one that people complain about the most because it is the one that touches the heartstring the first. If you want to get Jamaicans rallying around an initiative, just put the word child in it. It breaks down all the divisions because we are all committed to ensuring that our children are protected. And so, for the over 4,000 children that are in a state facility, we do have to do what we can to ensure that their development needs are met, especially for those with special needs. And in this regard, I have to commend the investment of over US $1 million in the critical areas of operation of the agency. A nation is going to be judged by how it caters for people who are most vulnerable. And I'm thereby pleased to know that today we are going to open officially a facility that addresses that cohort of persons in our society. No child deserves to be left behind, and I look forward to seeing the room when we cut the ribbon later. In closing, I just want to commend all the partners who have made today possible. TIU, if you didn't get the buy-in of the CPFSA, it would not have worked because you don't go in and impose a solution. It's about going into an area and implementing with the stakeholders already in the space. So today is really a celebration of partnership and partnership for the betterment of our children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. And you did hear the passion. Yes? So I know how the CEO and her team at Muirton must be feeling this morning, because I often tell them that they are far out east, but they are not alone. But they need days like this to see all of us coming together in support of the wonderful work that they are doing. Right, Madam CEO? Yes. No, it has been a good morning. We have seen evidence of excellent teamwork. Even the weather worked along with us, yes? Excellent day. I want to thank all the persons who saw it important enough to pause everything, because when you come to Muirton, you need to pause everything. And I want to thank you for coming and for sharing with us. And the energy is just so real. It's just, you're not just an audience just sitting down, just looking. The energy is real, and it means that we are joining hearts and we are joining forces to do this wonderful thing for the children of Jamaica. To the TIU, your partnership is invaluable. We could go on and on and on about how grateful we are. Child protection is everybody's business. And child protection is a big deal. And we are testament to that, because if we don't put all hands on deck, we won't get it done. But I'm not worried. When we have days like this, I am sure Jamaica is moving in the right direction. So thank you to everybody for coming out. We have a few things left to do, but right now I am going to ask us to stand while we have the playing of the national anthem. Following which, we are going to be moving to that section. Please be very careful with the stairs. It's wet. We don't want any accidents after such a wonderful morning. So following the playing of the anthem, I will ask the CEO of the CPFSA. We will ask Executive Director from TIU, along with our Minister, the CEO of Muirton Child Care Facility, will all make their way up these steps carefully to the ribbon, where we will have the ribbon cutting. Following that, we are going to have a tour of the sensory room, and that's going to be led by Miss Donaldson from Macam. She's going to do a quick tour and briefly, in a nutshell, explain the magic that will happen in that room. So for now, let's do the anthem, and then we will move through to that area. Thank you, everybody. So thank you again, and let's make our way to the cutting of the ribbon.